I guess I should explain the plot and kind of summarize what this whole drama is about, for those of you who don't know, which you should, because it's definitely one of the best dramas for me of 2012 so far. Okay, so this drama is basically a romantic comedy, body swapping romantic comedy. It revolves around a high school teacher named Gildaran, which is played by Lee Min-jung, and she is engaged to a pediatric doctor, Seo Yoon-jae, and he is played by, of course, Gong Yoo, of course. We also have Shin Won-ho. Shin Won-ho plays an 18-year-old high school boy who basically is a troublemaker and very immature and from America, and he's just amazing, okay? He's just amazing. When Yoon-jae, the doctor, is heading to go tell Gildaran an important message, tell her something very important, he gets into a tragic accident with Shin Won-ho's character, Kang Kyung-joon. This tragic accident is what actually leads to the plot and what sets it. At the moment that they have the accident is when the body swap happens. Kang Kyung-joon's soul basically gets into the body of a 30-year-old doctor, which is Yoon-jae, of course, and vice versa. You have this very confused 18-year-old boy in a 30-year-old's body who's like, oh my god, what is this? This body's amazing, but oh my god, And while the other half, his body is in a coma, and yeah, that's basically the plot. The plot is that you have Kang Kyung-joon and Gildaran trying to figure out what happened, how to reverse everything back to its normal places, everybody back into their normal bodies, and just restore everything. And also you get Yoon-jae and Gildaran, they were going to get married, so you have this little subplot of, oh no, well, I guess we're not going to get married, but then what's going to happen, Their relationship is at stake, and then you have this new relationship with Kang Kyung-joon that Gildaran develops, and so yeah, that's the plot. As for the main characters, I already mentioned, you have Gong Yoo, who plays both the doctor, Seo Yoon-jae, and Kang Kyung-joon, and he does an amazing job. You also have, like I mentioned before, again, Lee Min-jung, who plays Gildaran, you have Miss A. Suzy playing Mari, who is basically this girl who is head over heels obsessed for Kang Kyung-joon. She is like his #1 fan. She's so obsessed, but it's funny. She's a great character. I think that's the main people. I first want to talk about the pace of the drama. For me, in a drama, it's very important the first episode. The first episode is very critical. For this drama, it definitely did it justice. It definitely made me want to see more. Because in some dramas, what they do is they take the first maybe 2 or 3 episodes to introduce the viewers to the characters, to the setting, to the relationships, and that can kind of drag on, and it might make viewers be like, I don't want to watch this, people become bored. But this drama definitely did a good job at setting the scene, introducing the characters, and, starting the plot all in one episode. It was really good. So the beginning really catches the viewer's attention, not slow pace at all, as per my view, in my opinion, it wasn't slow pace. It was pretty decent. I really liked the beginning, because I wouldn't have watched it all if it wasn't for the beginning. For me, in a drama, I would give it 2 episodes tops, maybe 1.5, for it to try to convince me to keep watching it. Otherwise, it's like out of the window for you. But yeah. I guess I should say, spoiler alert, you guys, if you guys are watching this, just to know more about it, and you guys plan to watch big, but you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest not watching this video anymore. Because come on, you don't want to be spoiled. But if you want to be spoiled, continue watching, because I'm going to be talking about the story, the actual story, and the ending. And so, guys, yeah. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Some people were annoyed about the main plot, that it never changed. And by that I mean Kang Kyung-joon, he never switched back to his 18-year-old body, you know, the very cute and adorable Shin Won-ho, you know. People were annoyed about that. I admit that I was annoyed about that too. He literally does not change. The switchback of the bodies does not happen until the last episode. So for 15 episodes, well, no, I guess you could say 14, because for the first episode you get Shin Won-ho as Kang Kyung-joon. But as for the characters, the body swapping happens on episode 1, but it doesn't switch back until episode 16, which is the last episode. And some people found that very annoying. A bunch of people would be like, when do they switch back? And honestly, for me, that wasn't really a priority, but I can see why people were kind of annoying. So basically what I conclude from that is saying, if you're just watching Big because Shin Won-ho is in it and you want to see him acting, don't, because you will not see him acting much besides the first episode and a few little flashbacks here and there. But I mean, do not watch it because of that, because it's a really good drama. Even though Shin Won-ho is eye candy and he's cute and adorable as a button, you know, that's not what makes a drama, you guys. Just relax, guys. As for the acting, Gong Yoo does a superb, and I mean, 10 out of 10 job. Acting is so great. He does a fantastic, I mean, he plays two characters, first of all. A very reserved, a very serious, hardworking, pediatrics doctor, Seo Yoon-jae, and a dorky, immature, funny, 18-year-old boy, Kang Kyung-joon. And it's amazing the way that he switches back and forth. I mean, it's not very much that he switches back and forth, but he's so good at acting as both those characters. And I really like seeing the side of him, of Gong Yoo's side of being very, you know, out there and happy and silly. It's very, very, I don't know, that was very entertaining for me. And especially his crying scenes, you know, they were very, it was so heart-wrenching to see because he's so good at acting. It's, his crying scenes, guys, I would be like with him. I'd be there with him. I'd be like, I feel you, Gong Yoo. Kang Kyung-joon, I feel you. He was so good. It's so believable. He was definitely in with the character. He was one. He was there. As for Lee Min-jung, again, the one who plays Gildaran, the teacher, she does good too. I really liked her acting. I liked her more when she was being silly and not serious. Her serious acting, I would have to say, isn't that great, especially her crying scenes. Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't really like her crying scenes. They weren't very believable to me. That's the only kind of issue I had with her, but overall she's very cute. She's really pretty. I liked her acting when she was being silly and, you know, when she was interacting with Gong Yoo. She was really good at that. Susie's character, Mari, she is freaking adorable, guys. You have to love her, even though you know that she's one of the obstacles between the main couple, Kang Kyung-joon and Gildaran. You have to love her. Her personality is freaking amazing. She's a psychopath, but a lovable psychopath, you know. Yeah, I mean, that's all. You already know, if you've seen Dream High, you know that she's a pretty decent actor. I mean, near the end you started not liking her because that's when Mari starts interfering with the main couple, and she starts sabotaging, and, you know, I mean, you have to hate the obstacle, the enemy. She's the enemy, but yet by the end you still love her. Another character or set of characters that I really loved were Gildaran's family, and if you watched Big, you will agree. Why? Because they're just awesome. I mean, usually in a drama you have the deadbeat dad who's just never there, he's checked out, he has money problems, he's always drunk, etc., etc. Or you have the mom who's never there, who doesn't care, who is totally mean, or who's super overprotective or something. Or you could have the sibling who is a total loser, who's always in trouble, who's just a really bad sibling, brother or sister, you know. It's always, that's like the main formula of dramas. But in this one, the family is so adorable. You just really get to know them really well, and you get to love them. I just love her family, especially her brother. Her brother's just hilarious. He has the worst English I've heard in a long time.
You don't even know about skates? Whatever. 너무다. 되게 잘하네. My name is 일충식. Are you can Korea? 너 한국말 못해? 내가 못 알아듣냐? 어? Stupid.
Oh my god, you guys. I want to watch it again. Just because it's so good. It's just so good. As for the story, as I said, it's a romantic comedy and it's a body swapping drama. Although it's not original, because there have been body swapping dramas such as Secret Garden. It's not original, but their little twist that they added was this teacher/student relationship. They mixed it up with that body swapping idea. And I will admit that the whole old versus young pairing has been a trend in dramas recently. For example, I'm currently watching A Gentleman's Dignity, and there is a couple in there that there's a 40-year-old man who's in love with, I believe, a late 20s, a girl that's in her late 20s, and vice versa. They both love each other. And I know there's two other dramas that are of similar topic, so it's definitely a trend. But I think this drama does a really good job mixing the whole body swapping and the whole old and young couple concept. You know, it worked. For me, it worked. Although the story itself did not attract me to watching this drama, it wasn't the main thing that got me to watch it. Mostly it was Gong Yoo. I had to watch him. I was like, oh yes, and it was romantic comedy. I always give romantic comedies a try, guys. Always do. I just love romantic comedies. But it wasn't the story. The body swapping, I'm not a big fan of the body swapping idea or topic. But you know, this drama made it work. I also really like watching Kang Kyung-jun grow as a person. You get to meet him first as this very immature and stuck-up boy in the beginning, but then by the end he's matured into a fantabulous character. And you really get to love him, not because of what he's become, even though you do love him for that, but his journey, because you were there on his journey, you know. Although it wasn't a very long journey, you really admire his character. I will be listing pros and cons, my pros and cons, you know. It's not universal, it's just my opinion. So first pro, the soundtrack, guys. Good soundtrack, amazing soundtrack, so appropriate. Every time something happens, the appropriate soundtrack comes on, and the song is so good. All the songs are so good. Like, every time something weird and dorky happened, this weird and dorky song would play, and it'd be so appropriate, so good. The first con would be the fact that Shin Won-ho has very little screen time. Honestly, he only appears in the first episode, and here and there in little snippets, you know, like I said, in little flashbacks, and that's all. All you see him is in a coma, in a hospital bed, and that's all. You don't get to see him act, you don't get to see him, you know, he might twitch here and there while in a coma, but that's about it. I would have loved for him to have a little bit more screen time, maybe 3 more episodes at least, you know, but alas, that did not happen. But again, that shouldn't make the drama, but for me, I felt like it was a con because it would have been nice. It would have just been a nice little touch. The second pro is the chemistry between the actors. It's just so apparent when you're watching this drama how close those actors are and how comfortable they are together, because you don't see them having any awkward scenes. There's no weird parts where you're like, oh wait, what? You know, stuff like that. So The actors were really good. I really
A
liked
second
that.
con was that there was this subplot that I just didn't like. I felt was out of place. It was between two of Gildaran's co-workers, two teachers. One was a PE teacher, and the girl was like another teacher, just a miscellaneous teacher. And at first, the PE teacher, it was apparent that he liked Gildaran. He was always fawning over her and doing things for her and getting nervous around her, so you knew that he liked her. I was thinking that he was going to be an obstacle as well for the main couple, but it turned out that he wasn't. It was more like this other girl, the other teacher, she started liking the PE teacher, and so then they started having a thing, and they became a subplot, and I just did not see the point in that, you know. So it is nice to have a subplot sometimes to kind of relieve the viewer from the main plot if it's getting too heavy, you know, or to be used as a comic relief. But for me, the drama could have done without them, and maybe they could have added more like Kang Kyung-joon-ness to it. Another pro that I have would have to be the cliffhangers after each episode. They weren't the best cliffhangers, but they always got me wanting more. They left me wanting more. You know, they were always good endings, and it's very important to have good cliffhangers because that's what keeps the viewers hooked to your drama. My last con is, if you guys haven't guessed it, the ending. Oh gosh, the ending. My problem with the ending wasn't that what happened with who ended up with who and what occurred. To me was the execution. A lot of people, you know, if you've read little articles here and there, was that the ending was left open and that people were upset with the ending because it wasn't as expected and stuff like that. I would have to say it wasn't as expected because it wasn't executed right. And I wouldn't say it's an open ending, it's a confusing ending. For me, what they should have done, basically what they did was, you know, the body swap went back, everyone was in their rightful bodies, everything was good and dandy, and Kang Kyung-joon and Mari went back to the States. They came back to Korea after I think a year or two, and so then you're like, oh, okay, Gildaran and Kang Kyung-joon get to meet again, and they get to rekindle their love, and everything goes great. But no, what they did was, they didn't use Shin Won-ho as the actor for Kang Kyung-joon. Instead, they used Gong Yoo as Kim Kyung-joon. So it kind of left me confused. Why? Because when I saw that, I was like, wait, I thought they switched back. Why is he there and not the other guy? Wait, what? You know, I felt like they should have done at least that. Also, it wasn't executed well because the camera work was kind of sloppy. To me, for the ending, was kind of sloppy. It was confusing because they kept switching back from Kang Kyung-joon in Seo Yoon-jae's body, saying goodbye, his last goodbye for now, you know. And then it keeps switching back to the present, where Gildaran and Kang Kyung-joon meet again. But it's so similar a scene that you kind of get discombobulated, and you're like, is this the same scene? Wait, what's happening? Why is he talking like this? It's very confusing, because the same umbrella is being used. They're in the same position, they're standing in the same spot, and I think they're wearing the same, I might be wrong, I think they're wearing the same thing, and except in one of them I think it's raining, and the other one it's not, I don't even know, but the freaking iconic umbrella is there, and so I was confused. But yeah, I mean, they didn't show his face in the last, so people were saying, oh, maybe it's not Kang Kyung-joon, but she freaking called out her name, and Kang Kyung-joon said Gil Teacher, which is his signature name for her, so, or his signature name for her. So yeah, I've read some things speculating that the reason why this happened was that Kang Kyung-joon was meant to be Seo Yoon-jae's twin brother, and so at first Kang Kyung-joon's time was halted basically, and when they switched bodies 2 times back and forth, his time was restored or something, and so that's why he looks like Seo Yoon-jae, because now he's in his rightful body and time. But that's just improbable for me. Just so improbable that I can't wrap my mind around it, and no, just not only been 2 years or 1, I don't remember, 2, 3, 1 year, and an 18-year-old boy cannot look like a 30-year-old man in 2 years' time. You know, that's just not happening for me. That will never happen for me. Even though this is a fantasy type of drama, it's just, no. So people were saying if you're watching it, watch it till episode 15 and make up your own ending. Maybe that would have been nice, but I don't know. I felt like they should have used Shin Won-ho. And even though I guess maybe people were probably thinking that having an 18-year-old boy and a teacher kind of hitting it on would have been inappropriate. And I guess it is inappropriate, but I don't know. Endings are never satisfying, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, for me, I would give Big a 3 out of 3. Yeah. 3 meaning that I would totally recommend this to other people. If they like romantic comedies, I would definitely recommend this for them, because I felt like it was very satisfying drama. Even though the ending wasn't as perfect as others, it was very satisfying. You get attached to all the characters and everything's good, you know? Everything just fell into place and was nice.
Oh, please.